Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White, your host for today on Wounded to Wonderful. This is the place that we talk about real things with real people, and we find real solutions so that you can have a better life. And today we have none other than Sunny, who's a lifestyle mentor. Now, listen, I'm excited about this because I like the name already, Sunny. And you guys know me. I'm always, and Sunny is going to share some really, if she's really a Sunny, she's really going to share some good information with us. So welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us, Sunny.
Thank you, Edna. Yes, I am Sunny. I'm the founder of Sunny Life Solutions, and it's such an honor to be Mrs. White, we're all writing here to share our wounding, but actually it's wonderful journey. Yes. So yeah, this is really my honor.
Good. Thank you so much. I am really excited because you are all the way from Taiwan, right?
Yes,
Yay!
yes.
We're international. Yay. So I want to ask you, how do you show up in the world as a lifestyle mentor?
Sure. Well, I mentioned about I came from Taiwan. That's 31 years ago.
Yeah.
And so my west and east, those navigation journey, and I discover my own purpose through the suffering. So not because I'm just shining all the way now. So we all need to go through some kind of up and downs, right?
Yeah.
So for me, my journey is taking so many identity shifts. I came here as an immigrant. I don't speak the language, but I study in science. Right. So I'm living in this isolation. I'm the only one in this country when I was 24. So I have to take care of myself and remember how to cook. I remember my mother's dishes and all that. So then through the learning, then I get my degree. I work in the pharmaceutical as a scientist. Then my personal life started to have some shaking, right? I become a single mother. Then again, single mother without anybody here to help me because my ex went out of the country. Then also I decided working in the corporate America is not fit. I want to have freedom. I want to have my time to take care of my kids. So then I quit my job. Everybody think I'm crazy, right? I'm single. Right. But after that, my life started to really give me this training ground, and I faced a lot of stress and also because one of my son actually has a terminal EO problem diagnosed by 2004. And I know you have to be strong. I have to be,
you have to
get rid of my stress because they only have me. Then, so if I don't take care of myself, who's going to take care of them, right?
Right, exactly.
So that become a very dramatic turning point. And I learned all the things. I'm a scientist, and I also like to study and like to practice different modality from the east and west and try to maintain my stress in the lower level. Then I say, wait a minute, I have all the knowledge, all the tips and strategies that personal use, and I know it works. So we become say the best way to do is that people need to experience it. So if they don't really implement it or all the knowledge, I can write a book about 10 tips, but nobody use it.
Right.
And I would just maybe just physically become their mentor. I can design wisdom because everybody's life's different, but I will make sure they implement it and give me feedback about what is not working, what is working. So I can redesign more different strategies so everybody can finally become more relaxed and enjoy life. So that's how I become a lifestyle mentor.
Okay, so we know that we are on a track to become the best lives that we possibly can and be able to maneuver this human life, right? So tell us how the lifestyle, and I love what you talk about is caregivers. So talk about that part, which is that's out here right now. And I know in different cultures, some are responsible for not the Western countries so much, but in other countries, some people are responsible for their elders, and so talk about that caregiving part.
Sure. We all caregivers, right?
Mhm.
We caregiver ourselves. We care
Yeah.
anybody around. But when I really think about this overstress, super caregiver, they
Mhm.
super giving and caring, and they have no time for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if you like, I can look back in my generation, my parents' generation, actually,
Mhm.
they all have this obligation to take care of
Right.
elder and
Yeah.
so they're,
Yeah. Exactly.
but at the same time, they feel trapped, like they are not feeling like fully engaged.
Mhm.
And even the parent got taken care, but the energy is trapped in the wrong way. Like, so
Right.
parent know you don't like to be here. And when the caregiver is, I don't want to be here either.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
that actually create a very not good environment for both. So
Yeah.
it's like a double stress plus
Oh
because
wow. You're
both of
right.
them,
Double
right?
stress plus.
So, I mean, in order to be practical view, if you really want the caregiving, then you have to caregive yourself first. Then we need to have a reframe process to
Mhm.
see like, okay, I'm here in my,
Right.
maybe midlife, I have to quit everything,
Mhm.
drop what I'm doing and stay home because I have to.
Right.
Then and become there's opportunity for me to do something different.
Right.
So that reframing need time and
Right.
need practice. But I do
Right.
find out there is a way to do it. That's how I have a system in my training program, and we help people to have that transition smoothly and love themselves even better than try to just kind of fight over, say, this is not fair. I have my career, I give it
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that is just, I believe it is a transition. And cultural wise, yes, I do see in the ancient, well, not ancient time, the earlier
Yeah.
generation, I go a
Yes.
lot, they do. But right now we are all have the same challenge because life is so complicated. We
It
get
is.
out, we have to fight it over to
Yeah.
get our career. So then we don't really have an energy to lap over to care and give.
Yeah.
But the double and plus stress and not doing anybody good. We all kind of premature aging
Yeah.
because the excess stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that stress really gives you like the bags and the and aging in the body itself, like just in the body, like because I truly do believe stress kind of finds a place in your body. When you're stressed and you're holding on something, it kind of
Yes.
finds a place and sits there and says, my shoulder's going to start, because I remember when I was really stressed from a marriage, like really like stressed all the time. I used to always have neck aches, like
Yeah.
constant neck aches. And no matter what I did, I had neck aches. And come to find out, after going to the doctors like several years, find out it was stress. Like one smart doctor said, there's nothing really wrong with your neck. We did every
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with it. So of course, when I learned to live in China, I got hooked on acupuncture.
Mm,
The best thing ever.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
it just helped me so much. But realizing and being aware that you're stressed and being able or getting to the place to relieve that stress or get out of that situation um, is good. But in a caregiver situation, you can't leave. You can't leave, right? As a
Mhm,
caregiver to someone else, you can't leave.
mhm.
Give us some like pointers on how your program shares how to transition taking care of yourself along with caring for others.
Yes, yes. Well, that is the unique plot of my training. I don't need you to go to the gym. I don't need to go to buy special supplements to eat and you don't like the taste. And and I don't really need you to, do a lot of activity during the day and you already stressed, you already busy. You don't have time for yourself already. How are you gonna be put at 20 minutes here and there? So I have a special tool called Tiny Habits, and I'm
Mhm.
a certified coach for the Tiny Habit recipe. So what that create actually is just you need to just align with your routine. Like you become aware of what you do.
Right.
We all have a 5 minutes, 2 minutes here and there, right?
Right.
So if we find there's a time, you can be alone or either in the shower or just go to the party.
Right.
You do very tiny behavior that's less than 2 minutes, but you can refrain your energy going down or emotion,
Oh,
whatever. You can treat it because you can flame it to just show up in the mirror or say that to nice, oh, I'm here, I'm great. Just
yeah.
a little gesture about the positive comments to yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can
That's
do,
really
and I also have this a little very simple qigong movements. It'll take you 10 minutes and then you can boost your energy and you can feel happy, you can float again. So that's all I really want to share with the busy and crazy and feel like I have nowhere to go, caregivers, super caregiver, to know there's a lot of things we can do. If you got 2 minutes, you got 5 minutes, you got 10 minutes, you can be covered.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that that's very true. I talked about something the other day. You know how the rabbit on Alice in Wonderland says, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Well, it always runs around, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. And the watch is broken the whole time. It's on the same time every time that he's late, 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 late. And the watch is broken. And I think we get into the habit of just running around and saying, there's not enough time in the day, right? But you're giving tips that there is enough time in the day because you're prioritizing. Is that right? Is that what you're doing?
Well,
Like
it's not even prioritized. It's
okay.
more like you find the pauses.
Ah, good. That's good.
Yeah, so you strategically put the pauses. So then you become aware, like mindfulness practice, like you become aware. Yeah, I'm here, I'm now. Then you know you're doing something.
Oh, that's good.
Right. So you just like, because I don't have time to do other things. So my chore time is also my meditation. Because I don't need to sit there. I need to do things with one intention in my mind. I'm doing the meditation. That is actually the essence of meditation. Meditation doesn't mean to be still and doing nothing.
No, it doesn't.
Meditation is focus on one thing only. You know, that's why the breathing can help, because you you breathe, or you can look something, intently, then you become present. So this is all this mindfulness practice, and really don't need to a lot of time management, prioritize what is nothing wrong to do that. But if you do too much, there's no gap, there's no pauses.
Right, there's no pauses.
That become even worse.
Nice. I like that. I'm a hashtag practice the pause. I love it. Practice the pause, people. Practice it. I have pauses during the day because, of course, as a life coach too, you need that time to kind of practice the pause, right?
Yes.
So what I do is when I have a chance to get up from the computer or get up from where I'm sitting, I go and do some exercise. I go and walk. I do something that I'm focused on, or I just do some breathing, something that I can, I only have 5 minutes, I go and do just so I can, and I do the breathing, or I do some exercise, arm lifts, anything like that, or just focus on, I got this, I got this. If I'm starting to stress out, I find a positive affirmation, which I love those, by the way.
Yes.
But now you're teaching me something, how to now get into all those pauses more. I'm going to get into them more. Now what does practicing the pauses do for you, even as a caregiver? What does it do for you?
Well, I have a huge pauses, because after I quit my job, that is 2008.
Yeah.
Then until here, I try a lot of things, right?
Yes.
So I think since I don't want to go back to corporate America, I have to do that. So I try and not working, try, not working, right? And I just look back the 20-some, it's about 15 years now. It's like, that is a huge pauses. But through the pauses, actually, I learn things. Right. I'm still low. I'm not getting this become going to but all the time, that big pauses for me to see things differently. Right. I don't need to be certain people. I don't need to be certain social status. I'm still me. And throughout here, it's like, okay, they can give me any label, immigrant, single mom, caregiver, whatever the label they want to give me. I am me.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So that pause is actually teaching me to just disassociate a little bit, right?
Right.
It's the same thing going to daily routine, 2 minutes, 5 minutes pauses. It's just disengage with our mind overthinking or anxiety and worry about the future and
Right.
angry about the past. You just let it just disappear. So that pauses really just get our mind, so mindful actually is not the full mind, right? Actually,
Right.
it's empty mind. When you have this little pauses, you get something out of there, and you finally have a new thing to come in. They can be a new idea. They
Mhm.
can feel like a peaceful feeling, or they can have this happy feeling that's like, oh, I enjoy. I remember my grandmother cookie. All this great things start flowing in,
Right. Mhm.
right? So that's the powerful of the pauses.
Right. And the pauses really create opportunities for you to kind of
Mm.
learn. Okay. Okay. And keep learning. Should I say keep learning?
Yes, yeah, but you have to ditch out the old thing first before you can learn
Yes.
the real thing.
Okay. So taking out the old stuff and putting in new. Okay, got you. Got you. I like those pauses. I like those pauses. So how do you now in your own time, that big pause that you had, how do you now start to get clients and start to be known in the social media world, or to people that will carry your name as ambassadors? How do you start to do that?
Yeah, I mean, that start was to 2020. Well, I was managing a restaurant and
Mhm.
it's not going anywhere. So I'm
Right.
planning to close it anyway.
Right.
But COVID hit, right? So it's like, oh, I closed like before I have to
Mhm.
close, right? So I get, I move on.
Right.
And but in when I get out, I say I actually has a wake up moment when I'm the last time to clean this greasy and smelly grease trap.
Right.
So when I'm doing that cleaning, I just kind of start laughing. I say, Sonny, you have a master's degree in science. You speak both languages,
Uh-huh.
and you're fast learner,
Uh-huh.
and you are need down here to clean the grease trap because you have no money to hire anybody.
Mhm.
So that is just like I start laughing and said, "This is the comedy movie I can make it in real."
Yeah, you can't make
So,
this up, right?
so I mean, that's how I think I ditch out all this negativity, anger. I start
Mhm.
to feel funny. So the lights coming in, and I start to see opportunity. So I go online and I hire coaches, and I
Mhm.
through my journey, and again, none of them is kind of working the way I want to go.
Right.
But since I already got the long process before, I quit my
Right.
job. I know that's normal.
Right.
When you shift to the new things, you always have this lagging time for us to, discover and match, align with our energy, all that, right? So I'm
Right.
this time I'm more relaxed. I'm just yes, I do need the time. I do need to spend resources because I don't
Mhm.
know anything about online
Right.
business, but I allow myself again for that time. But now I think I'm pretty clear. I am in line with everything I can do, and I have the tools, and I feel comfortable going interview and
Right.
go social media, type my post. Then I'm growing the community. Right now, it's like community for me is really the great place to be.
Right.
Everybody has something to share.
Oh, absolutely.
Not everybody is a teacher or learner. We are all student and teacher at the same
Mhm.
time,
Same time.
and that is the energy exchanges too. I have journey, everybody has their journey. I call it paradoxical hero's journey, because
Okay.
I mean we all paradoxical. We always to
Oh,
give up
yeah.
something. We always turn out to somebody we don't even know we can become, right? We can become a hero, but we need to accept our paradoxical nature.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I'm so exciting to really invite people to just coming in, and we can build such a great place. And I call it love community. Love is for quantum leap with
Mhm.
openness,
Yeah.
vibrations, and enthusiasm, because we are all human beings. We are amazing beings,
Right.
and we can work together with anything.
Oh, anything. Yeah. If we want to, if we really, really want to. And that's a great analogy to have for the world, because we all need to do that. The reason why I ask the question all the time, how do you show up in the world? Because no, everyone could say, well, who are you? You know, you could say, well, my mom, you know, single mom. You used to go down the list. I'm a single mom. I'm a doctor. Like, those are all what you said were roles and labels that people put on you. But when you really think about it, yeah, who am I? But how you show up in the world is like, boom, it's different. Like, okay, now I got to really think about that. You know, how do I show up in the world? Now, for your clients, who is someone that you could share their story that it really touched you, and it's like it changed the way that you were doing your business? Like one of your clients, how you work with them and they showed such great improvement. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to share this with everybody. You know, who was that one?
Well, I always have my young self in my mind when I
Uh-huh.
create my
Me too.
post and then go that, because
Me
that
too.
is it's clarity about who I'm served. I
Hmm.
see myself, particularly over 40 that time. I'm overweight. I have all this negativity about myself because I
Hmm.
just feel like, I have nothing to control. I have the son with a genetic disease, which is I inherited. I have no way to change it. And it's terminal. Then I have, the marriage is just not going to work in the beginning, but I'm still naive to think about I can change.
Right.
So all the things
We
like
all know
out of my
some of that. We
control.
know that. We
Yeah,
know
we
that.
all have this, like, we think we are like a superhero, right? We want to change everything. Then we learn the lesson. No, the only thing I can change is ourselves, our
Myself. Yeah.
mindset and our beliefs, right? So from that, I really start to feel more relaxed. If the
Uh-huh.
only thing I need to work on is myself,
Mhm.
right? So I try to make that inference to anybody I encounter. You are enough. You're good. You got all the
Yeah.
gift, right? The
Yeah.
only thing you may not knowing is you don't know how good you are. So
Hmm.
my role is more like talking to myself in the past to say, Sonny, just be patient. And this is the journey you have to take anyway, just embracing. And don't judge too much yourself. You
Yeah.
can maybe point fingers somehow, but if you do too much to yourself,
Yeah. You're not
that
taking
is
care of yourself. Yeah.
getting too much.
Damage.
So
Yeah.
I think the best, if I do have a very, because the community is more like everybody do their own path.
Yeah.
If they can come back, we can maybe co-author a book or
Hmm.
something like that to put our paradoxical heroes journey together, or have a summit and people become speaker, because I like to speak and
Hmm.
train people to kind of get their voice out. Then
Right.
then the world can know we don't need to be super person whatever to start with. We can be immigrants. We can find somebody don't speak any English. We can
Right.
be somebody overweight and lose 200 pounds. Why
Hmm.
not, right? So
Not.
we
Yeah.
can all have our successful story, but I think they have to pen their picture in their own mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be
Right.
true self. That is because I believe someone labeled us. And so I believe I'm like this little, but once they believe, I am, then,
Yeah.
they can become somebody they really should be.
Yeah. They could be
Yes.
limitless at that point. Very limitless. Now, how can we and my audience get in touch with you? You know, share your social media where you are. How can we do that?
Well, my community is just under the name called Sunny Life Solutions.
Hmm.
And so that is http://sunnylifesolutions.com. And I using that thing in Instagrams, in
Okay.
my Facebook page,
Okay.
and in my LinkedIn profile,
Okay.
and my link tree. So they're all Sunny Life Solutions.
Okay.
And the hashtag in Facebook, you can find a lot of posts there too. So
And do
that
you do a lot of virtual? A lot of virtual? Or is it mostly in person events?
Well, I do most of a virtual because I start to do it in the COVID season,
Oh,
right?
got you.
2020.
Yeah.
But the
Took
more and
advantage
more
of
I
the
think
situation.
about,
That's
I
great.
need to start to maybe show up in the local events because right
Oh,
now it's more open,
right.
and to maybe do a little cooking section about how to cook for yourself and how to eat right.
Yeah.
Those kind of a fun, interactive event and smell good. So
Yeah.
people can feel more open to the change.
Yeah.
And I would like to see whether that can be happening in the next year. Once the online, all the traffic, everybody know this working,
Yeah.
then I need to have a local chapter to
Nice.
do that
Yeah.
same thing.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. So, what final words would you have to say to someone who's either starting a business or want to do what you do? What could you do or say that to encourage them?
Yeah, I have a lot of misperception about building an online business. I think
Mm-hmm.
I would just follow this and it boosts a lot and didn't work for me. So I started to think about why somebody can just, go on, but why not me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And later I find out it's a personal branding.
Ah,
So if I'm not sure why I'm show up,
right,
what the message I want to share, and
right.
that's so hard to connect because the online is more like in the quantum field, right? We all
Uh-huh.
connected
Yeah,
with the frequency. So if you don't speak from your heart, you don't
yeah.
really be authentic, you're not presenting your personal branding,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't go. So
Yeah.
really, I want everybody to know everybody can build a business, not something you run or not fit. Is you need to go through the journey to know who you are first and
Right.
use your authentic voice,
Right.
using your vulnerability, using your wounds.
Oh yeah.
And even you're not that wonderful yet, but you are in the journey. Everybody would love to follow you because you are show
Yeah.
us who you are.
Yeah.
Right. So the personal branding is really the key thing and kind of waking me up, say, no, I don't need to do a lot of those. As long as I
Mm-hmm.
show up with who I am and I'm sincere, then I can see that person,
Right.
which is me, to transform, then I can see others in their own way too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you hit a great point in branding. When I first started, and I like how you said you have to pay for someone to show you the way. Get a coach, someone that doesn't know knows more than you to get you, moving forward.
Mhm.
And I remember when I first sat with my coach, and so he said to me, "So who are you serving?" I said, "Everybody." What, are you kidding me? I want all the money. I want everybody. And he's like, "No, who are you serving?" I was like, "Oh, so now I can't serve children." So he kept saying, he never budged from the question. So I says, "Oh, so what? Who am I supposed to be focusing on?" He said, "I've been asking you that for 5 minutes." So I had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I was very hesitant, very rebellious, like a little kid. Like, oh no, this can't be. And found out, and it was a whole lot of transition. It wasn't like the first day I got it right. It was in the second day. It wasn't the fifth day or the month later. It was like 2-3 months later, and then I finally focused in, and I was like, holy moly! Now I'm focused in. I have the group that I'm working with, and lo and behold, here comes someone that says, on a marketing standpoint, you can't just work with Black people or Black women. I said, I can't. Then what do I do? Who am I? And they looked at me and they cracked up. They're like, oh, okay. I said, we want to help people. And who do we relate with more than anyone, like someone like ourselves? Think about it. Like, really think about it. So, okay, that makes sense. But you always have some, when you find your brand, there's always going to be somebody that's going to say, oh, well, that's not going to work. But when you know who you are, like you said, when you know who you are, that you're enough, it doesn't bother you.
That's exactly right. In my journey, the 30 years, I've been labeled so many different things by both culture,
Yeah.
right? The way I come
Right,
from and where I stay.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, so I can be anybody, that feel good about it. But then it's still like we do have our particular traits. And
Yeah.
so if you know the the superpowers you have.
Yep.
You
Oh,
should just
absolutely.
focus on that, and
Yeah.
because everybody will connect with you when they resonate.
Yes.
So we don't need to chase them. If we just become who I am, but this is a journey, not like all of a sudden you can be
Yeah.
super clear about who you serve and how you're
Oh,
going to show
absolutely.
up. But that's how the learning process is fun
Yeah.
for us to evolve and become better and mature. And who knows, we're gonna get enlightened too. Who knows, right? But
Who
it's a
knows?
goal. We can
Who
go higher and
knows?
higher, and until
Yes.
we want to stop it. But
Who
it's always
knows what we
fun.
can become? And we even surprise ourselves if you, as you said, we don't even know like a year from now who we will be. We don't know. We keep up this momentum and keep being authentic and keep doing that inner work. We don't know who will we become. So that's some good stuff. So Sonny, I really appreciate you coming. This brings us to the end of the show. But I really appreciate all the insights you've given for caregivers, and you even enlighten me. I'm a caregiver for myself, if not for anyone else. I have to take care of this caregiver who caregivers the other myself. So you gave us some insight to that. And this won't be the last time that you're here. And I just want you to know that I welcome to Wounded to Wonderful, and thank you for being here. And I know the audience thanks you.
Oh,
And
thank
we
you.
are going to connect on the next level of where we're going to be as partners now, because I truly do believe that we all meet for a certain reason, and we all will stay together for that very same reason. So thank you for joining us today, Sonny. And um, we're going to say bye for now. This is
Yeah,
Edna
thank
White.
you. Yeah, everybody take care. See
Take
you
care.
around. Bye-bye.